In our last video, Ace had started our lifeline replacement project, and that resulted in having to reinstall the solar panels and our Starlink dishy, on our Dingy Davit system, Solar Arch. And this video is about what Ace had to learn about splicing Dyneema before he could start the project. And I was just fascinated, as always, watching what he is able to do.
Okay, we are going to splice some Dyneema. This is the end I want to splice. First thing I want to do is cut the end off. It's melted now, I don't want a melted end. Melted ends are sharp, we don't need sharp end going through the Dyneema. So I'm going to tape it off and then cut the end. If I can, I like my sharpest hunting knife that I actually use to dress animals in the field when I was doing that sort of thing. I don't hunt anymore. I don't even eat much red meat anymore. Or meat at all, actually. Okay, but this is a really sharp knife, I think. It's been a while. And it's still pretty sharp. Let's see what it can do. Dyneema will cut, but it's difficult to cut on purpose.
I think we're going to have to do our first bloopers reel and show all the ways Ace tried to cut Dyneema before he found this hunting knife.
There. Yeah, that went okay. Took a lot of pressure to make that happen. But it happened. All right. That's the end of our cutting until we taper. Do the taper work. Now we're going to put, we want about, for 1/4 inch Dyneema, I like to put a bury 20 inches or so, just from videos I work. Most everything I know about splicing Dyneema I learned from the Rigging Doctor videos, so they're awesome. They also travel with a couple of parrots on their sailboat. And I think their home base is Baltimore, and they sail to Chesapeake Bay, so a lot when they're not traveling the world. So I hope to run into them one day. Anyway, I'm going to bury about 15 inches. That looks good. Okay, this is where I want my eye. I'm going to put a little eye in there, but before I do that, I'm going to just push on this braid, open it up. Grab a fid, which I don't really need because it opens up so easily the way it's made. Okay, I'm just going to run this end through there. Like that. And then I want to run this end, the long end, through the short end, close to that splice. So that's important to know where I want that. So I'm going to find my eye. Here's my eye. Put my eye in there. Make it nice and tight, because Dyneema will stretch, they say. Again, I know nothing about what I'm doing here. Just watched a couple of YouTubes, and I've spliced a rope here and there, but I really don't know how to do it or what's the right way. So, don't do as I do. Do your own research and learn your stuff. Okay, there is a fancy way of splicing, putting the long end through the short end, and I think I'm going to try it. Otherwise, I'll just take all of this and thread it through. which I don't have any problem doing that, but I do want to hone my splicing skills. So in order to do that, I'm going to take 2 fids, 2, we'll do those 2, and I'm going to decide where I want that. I want this long rope to go right through there. So I'm going to pull it nice and tight over my eye so I get a good snug fit on the eye. And I'm going to open it up a little bit right beneath that, and then stick my fid through there. You don't want to split the strands. The strands are made out of many little fibers. Don't want to split those. Okay, now you take this fid. Actually, it'll be easier that way. I'm going to take the bigger fid and put this slanted end through there. If you want to know about the fids, I suggest watching The Rigging Doctor, because they give you information about products used, and the guy's a professional rigger. So any information you get there is going to be probably very accurate. But you stick them together, and then when you get in there, you pull them apart, and get them both stuck through that line in order to make a big hole. There, I got them both in there. And kind of twist them, turn them, make a great big hole. That's the idea. And I think we got a pretty big hole. And let's take this bigger one, stick it through there now. Okay, that's a sizable hole. All right. Now, with that big hole, this is a small one. You take that and you put it through like this. Place it through the hole you made. There. I'm just going off a memory of a YouTube I watched in the middle of the night the other night. Like that. So you have Mickey Mouse ears. And then you pull it all the way through, so you have a hole with a twist in it. And that twist will come out when you do this next thing. Okay, you still have a big hole there. It's got a twist in it. Now, you work out your thimble. This is another little fid that my father had. Inherited that from my father. So he's done work with lines and ropes and stitching as well. Okay. Take your thimble out. Now, you take your loop and you put it through the hole you made. Push it through with my bit a little bit. Pull it all the way through. There. Now that twist came out of it because it flipped it when you put it through there. And it's in the right place. Now you work your thimble back in. It's hard, but you know, like the rigging doctor says, I wish I remembered his name. He says if it's doing it right is sometimes hard. And this is a splice that he says, as long as I'm got it right, that he said he does when he does the side stays for standing rigging. He uses Dyneema standing rigging. And this is the splice he uses for that. Okay, there. Now you have your thimble in there. You have your double crisscross lacing of the Dyneema through. And then we'll just go ahead and make a hole just below there for this tail. And we'll mark where the tail ends so we make sure we have enough line going on. So I'm going to mark it right there with a piece of tape. I could use Sharpie or marker, but I don't have one handy when this works. So we're going to come down at least to here. All right. Now the fun part. Make our hole just below where that line was laced through, and stick your fit in. He kept referring to these as Chinese handcuffs. I remember as a kid, you'd go to the fair and you'd win some of these little laced up things like that, and you put your two fingers in and pull on them and you can't get them apart. And I don't know where it got that name. It's probably inappropriate use of that, so I apologize, but that's what we're known as. All right. Running the fid through the center. Keep loosening this up. Now we've got I don't know if we're going to make it all on one fid. Probably not. That's all right. We'll just pop out right here. And stick our end in the fid and push that through with our pusher. Again, you can get this whole kit with the fids and the pusher from the people who make it. The Samson splicing braided ropes. Samson is the name of the company that makes this set of fids and a pusher. Pusher's cool because you just stick it in the back of the fid and the pressure holds your line in place. Push it all the way through like that. Okay. Pull your line all the way through. There. Now that's all buried. Now I'm going to do the same thing again to come out here. So I'm just going to enter that same hole again. It's like a dolphin coming up for air. And then diving down in the water. Again, stole that from the rigging doctor. So, disclaimer, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I never had an original thought. Okay, put your pusher in there. Don't really need it for a piece that short. Okay, then pull that through. Okay, good. Now that's all done. Now you want about half of that, about half of that for the tapering. Go about there for tapering. So, this is a 12 strand, 1/4 inch Dyneema. So I want to cut off, I want the 12th strand to go all the way to the end. 11th, 10th, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way up to have a nice smooth taper all the way down. Because if I just leave the end like that, which I could, no problem, because this is way stronger than I need for a lifeline, where this Dyneema wraps around this sharp end, well, it's not a sharp end, it's a blunt end, and then that means the fibers will have to change direction, and that will put extra stress on those, so that will be the weak point, and that'll make that point weaker than the rest of it. So we want to do it right, so we're going to taper, at least maybe not as professionally as a professional would do it, but we're going to do some taper on there. We're going to take out some of these strands and cut them off. So I'm just going to take one strand here. Now I'm going to take this tape off here in case it's holding anything. It's pretty good masking tape. Found it on the boat, but it's strong stuff. The more I work with this stuff, the more I like it. I've been working with nylon and polypropylene lines for a long time, but I love this Dyneema. It's very slick, so it's difficult just to tie knots in it. They say a bowline will come right out. All right, that's 3, 4. If this was actually a piece of rigging, you would want to be very precise and do your math. So these are in exact increments all the way down. I'm just going to eyeball it because I don't need to be that precise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It kind of came all undone here at the end. So I'll cut them starting at the bottom. Sorry, dude. Tools out of the way. Okay. Starting at the bottom. This is number 11. Nice. This is number 10, a little bit shorter. Number 9, a little bit shorter. Number 8, a little bit shorter. Seven. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2. There. Now, feathered end. It comes from full thickness all the way down to one strand at the very bottom. Then you just go ahead and milk this all the way down. It should completely bury all of those strands. is sticking out a little bit. There, we got everything buried. Oh, another one's sticking out a little bit. Take my fid. See, I should have went a little longer there because this stuff shortens up. Actually, this will stretch out again with some pressure. Take off that piece of tape and just stick it in with the fid. Tuck him in there where he goes. A happy little Dyneema strand lives right inside there. There you go. That should hold. I don't know what the strength of this Dyneema is. I mean, it's like over 1,000 pounds brake strength. So that should hold really good.
That's nice, honey.
Thank you. Thank you. It worked. Wasn't too hard. And this old buck knife worked really well.
Next video, you'll see how these skills transfer out to the deck of Shooting Star in our Lifeline project. Thanks for following our journey.